Let's bring in Reena Shah. She's a political strategist and founder of Relax Strategies. That's a political intelligence firm, and joins us live from Washington, D.C. Reena, good to have you with us again. Matt Gaetz says he withdrew because his nomination was becoming what he called a distraction as details emerged of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use. But given that Gaetz was disliked by many Republicans in Congress and he was a divisive figure in the party, surely Trump should have seen this coming.
Well, in my analysis of the situation, first of all, we have to take note that all of these appointments are being announced like rapid fire. Historically speaking, we're not really used to this. Of course, there's a long ways to go, some 60 days about, until President Trump comes to office. And all those people sitting in the agencies right now who are political appointees are on their way out. We'll be looking at new agency heads, an entire new executive branch. And one thing is really, really evident here is that some of these appointments that Trump has announced are highly problematic, not because they're disliked by some of their peers or their foes on Capitol Hill, but mainly because of sexual allegation, misconduct related to minors. I'm talking about children under the age of 18, which is the age of consent. That is who former Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, the Republican that again got Trump's nod for Attorney General, that is what he was credibly accused of being involved with. And there was a House Ethics Committee report that was supposed to come out. And in essence, what happened is that Gaetz resigned his post, accepted President-elect Trump's nod, and then went on. We saw a series of events that essentially have led to him now withdrawing from this nomination.
Yeah, and even Trump's pick for Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, also faces accusations of sexual assault. Could we see a similar swirl of controversy start to build around his nomination too?
Well, the foremost problematic appointments, in my belief right now, were Gaetz to Attorney General, Hegseth to Department of Defense, RFK Jr. to Health and Human Services Department, and then Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. These are the four that I believe face landmines in Senate confirmation hearings. We've got to remember here, the president-elect can make these appointments, again, heads of agencies, people who serve at a cabinet level position. These are unelected bureaucrats because they serve at the president's pleasure, but they have to be confirmed by the Senate chamber of our Congress. And in essence, what we saw with Gaetz withdrawing his nomination was the Senate saying, we're going to do our job. There were 5 senators today, we learned, in the Republican part of the Senate that said, we are likely going to be a no vote on Gaetz. And tonight around Washington, the rumor is Hegseth could be next to withdraw because of, again, these credible sexual assault allegations.
Yeah, Reena, and lawmakers and Republican strategists are already saying they're deeply concerned about the lack of due diligence and proper background checks for Trump's cabinet picks. Clearly, the proper vetting process is being bypassed.
Well, like I said earlier, the president-elect seems very eager to get to work. Trump, in an ahistorical fashion, is going to be re-entering the White House come January 20th. And so, in essence, what we've seen is these picks be very different in nature from his first term. I think he really wants to show not just the country, but mainly his Democratic foes, that he is going to do things in a fashion that is very Trumpian, which is non-conventional, and essentially bring in people that are not just loyal to him and have pledged their loyalty to him, but who are also coming from the private sector or from different backgrounds. But again, he believes they're capable to do the job. There's 2 schools of thoughts here really quick. One is that he nominated Gaetz to get Gaetz out of the trouble that he was potentially facing if this House ethics report was released. But then secondly, there are people who are saying, he's giving up these names because he thinks these people are vindictive. And like him, they want to carry out some sort of agenda against his enemies.
Reena Shah, always good to get your thoughts and your analysis, Reena. Thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren.